Oh, hi. Hey, it's your man, Apple American, the new guy. Check out my new helmet. You like that? Look at that. You like it? You like it? Anyway, it's turned into something of a crazy story. How I got it, and well, just follow me. I'll tell you how I made some frenemies. Come. I'll tell you the story. Let's go. So this story, it starts in, where was I? Obituary, yes. And I wanted the deadhead helmet. I thought it was cool. It's got the little mohawk thing, and it's got skull faces, and I love skulls. I was like, man, I just gotta have this thing. I like the cow head, but it's just, it's a bit weird. So I do some Googling, like the new guy, because the best information you'll find and the most accurate information you'll find is on Google, right? I go on Google and it's like, where can I get the deadhead helmet? And it says you need to go to Bloom and a place called Windfall. So I'm like, nice. Now, I'm in Pyro, and being the noob, I think everything's hostile. So I get my medical terrapin out, and I'm like, I'm going to set my respawn on there, or at least I can run back to it and heal, because I don't like to set my respawn there, because if my terrapin gets destroyed, I go back to Orison, and I spend most of my time out here in Pyro. So I'm just going to take it with me so I can heal up when need be, run back and forth, heal my injuries if I get shot up, and yeah, I've got a plan. I'm going to go get the helmet. Now, I don't know the details of the helmet, and this is where my noob moment comes in, because had I just read further in Google, it would have told me, or I would have found that you can just buy it. But
First time doing it?
I thought it was a lootable item.
Yeah. He's got to go somewhere.
So my comms are now part of the video, so you'll have to forgive me if there's a lot of background noise here. I might cut some sections out. You might not hear the game, but I arrive in Bloom. I start pinging, looking for bad guys. I'm coming up on location, and the first thing I'm looking for is anti-aircraft. And here's where I should have thought, hey, you know what? My plan might not be a good one, because I'm going in here thinking hostilities, right? So I get close, and I'm looking for anti-aircraft, and it becomes clear at some point that the anti-aircraft is not going to shoot me down, because I can actually land on location. But I'm still in hostile mode. It's Star Citizen, and I'm in Pyro, so I'm like, yeah, let's go. Man, what a goofball. So these guys are being friendly. But I've come to be a frenemy. So here I'm hugging the terrain, trying to avoid the anti-aircraft, and I decide I'm going to pop up over top of the hill and let them take a few shots at me and see how bad it's going to be and where I have to like fly and land. I pop up over the hill and they don't shoot at me, so I'm like, well, hey, let's just go in there. If you're going to be a dummy and let me in, then I'm going to go. I should have realized at this point that these guys aren't hostile. Nonetheless, I'm a noob. I fly in and I land. I'm like, nice. I can really get in there and get out really fast. Nothing is making sense here. I'm not really thinking. I'm just playing. Remind me to think when I play at the same time, guys. So I'm like, yeah, this helmet is mine. Again, I think it's a lootable item. So I'm gonna put fast forward here because I run around a whole lot, and we're just gonna get into where I start making new frenemies. So I'm running around thinking lootable item. If I just read further into Google, I'd know you can buy this here, but hey. So I'm looking at that guy and I'm like, hey, he's not hostile. That's cool. They're suckers. I'm gonna come in here and get this helmet and get out. So I'm just running around looking, like, you know, where's my helmet? Where's the helmet I want? Looking everywhere. I actually ran past the terminal you can buy it at. I'm just gonna give you the spoiler right now. You can buy this at a terminal there. But new guys are gonna do new guy stuff, and so yeah, you could see me run around with my like a chicken with its head cut off. I'm just looking and looking, like, where's this dang helmet? I'm looking for an NPC with the helmet. I'm looking for a box. You know, I'm thinking Pyro 1, nothing. So I'm starting to get desperate because I need the helmet and I need it bad. And I'm like, I'm not leaving here empty-handed. So, yeah, just when we get to the top of the hill, we'll continue the story where things start to go a bit south. So after running around being desperate and getting upset, not really upset, but you know, I'm like frustrated. I open up the box and there's just stuff in there. I'm like, I'm just taking something. It's like, I'm not gonna leave here empty-handed. You're gonna just give me your stuff. So I start looting just random stuff. Really, you know, well, I'm a black guy. What do you expect? It's black guy behavior. So I just start stealing their stuff. Okay, just it is what it is. And then I come around the corner and I see this guy, and I'm just like, hey, I like those shoulders, man. Those shoulders are really sweet, dude. Where'd you get those? This dude just ignores me. He literally turns his back on me and he starts to walk away. But I want those shoulders. And I'm like, hey, buddy, can I buy those off you? I got some credits. And he's like, they're not for sale, man. I'm like, buddy, I want those shoulders. Make me an offer. I'll pay you whatever you want. He's being rude, you know, he's not talking to me. And he just walks off, and I'm really mad. I'm like, hey, look, I didn't get my helmet. You got those nice shoulders I want. You won't make a deal. And so I'm going to have to deal with you, friend. So in case you're wondering what this pause here is, it's me coming up with a bad idea and a very bad plan. A new plan. So I just, you know. Me following you? No, I'm not following you, buddy. I need to go harvest some plants. That's why I have my knife out. So, yeah. I'm just coming to the greenhouse to harvest some plants. Yeah? So, and then there's a witness in here. So I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to deal with two people. Witness. I'm harvesting plants, guys. Witnessing me harvesting plants. You know, I'm shy about it. So, anyway, I do a noob takedown attempt, which didn't work out well. Looking back, I should have just shot him. Shot them both, but yeah. And harvest. I'm not killing him. I'm harvesting, okay? I'm harvesting shoulders. And now I'm trespassing. So, harvest. I'm in a greenhouse, I'm harvesting. Excuse me while I harvest my shoulders now as a trespasser. So just as I'm walking up to this lady real creepy like with my knife, you know, and about to do some harvesting, this guy attacks me. And now I know what's on. I'm like, okay, I'm trespassing, and it's not the type of trespassing like when you finish a mission and they're like, get off the planet, and they don't attack you. It's like, no, we hate you. And I realized, like, yeah, I guess I'm the bad guy. They were friendly and they let me into town, and I just came in here and like, I killed people and stole their stuff. Man, this is that whole like problem that people have with black people in real life, isn't it? Oh my god, I've done it in a video game. Oh, sheesh, man, stereotypes. Well, at least it's only in a video game, not in real life, okay? So now I hear the turrets and they're going off, and I'm like, oh my god, they're shooting my ship. So I make a run for my ship. I gotta save it. I left my ship running so that the shields are on, and that was a good idea, because had the shields not been on, I'd have been stranded on a hostile planet. So I'm making a break for my ship, and I'm hoping it's not too damaged so I can just get out of here. Now, to be honest, I don't even know if my ship is going to start. I get in my ship and I notice they've blown a whole engine off. And I'm not sure if I can fly or if I can even jump. I know nothing about the game. See, I forgot to put my gun away also. If they blow me up, I'd have lost that gun. You know how many guns I've lost by being blown up in my ship? Oh, let me tell you this. So anyway, I take off, and obviously I can't fly right because, what is it called? Major torque or something malfunction? Yeah. I've got an engine shot off. So I'm trying to fly around with a missing engine. But just no commentary. Watch this masterful fly a damaged ship expertise. Yeah, I think I did pretty good for a new guy.
Landing complete. Engines offline.
So I take a quick land. I get up, do a visual inspection of my ship. Not like I could do anything. It's just, it's habit, I think I want to put my gun away too. I put my gun away, and I'm like, all right, yeah, that was bad. I hop in the seat, and I, I decide I'm going to make my jump back up to obituary and repair my ship and reevaluate how I can find this helmet now that I'm trespassing. And I also asked for information and intel from the guys, like, if I made myself some frenemies while harvesting stuff in their town that I maybe shouldn't have been harvesting. Yeah, do they ever become friendly again? Again, I never really got a clear answer on that, so I don't know. Anyway, you can see me here trying to get to jump altitude without, sending the ship into a spin and a crash. And then it was a challenge to also just hold it in position so that I could, do the whole spooling up, calculating the jump as it is. And at this point, I was kind of panicking, like, how's the landing going to be? How am I going to land this thing? But it turned out to be easier than I thought. Anyway. So if you played the game, you can see what it takes or where you're moving the ship to. And look at my mouse movement. You can see it with the little blue line that's moving around inside the center of the circle there. That's my mouse movement to try and keep that thing straight. But we get her done.
Bottom drive is now on. Bottom drive is now off.
So I'm going to go ahead and let this play out. Just me flying back to the station. It is a little bit complicated flying through space with a whole missing engine. But just, I want to show off my skills, man. I'm proud of myself here. So just bear with me if I don't fast forward through this. You can fast forward through it, but don't miss any part of the story. It's not over.
But wait! There's more!
So, I got the shoulders, but I didn't get the helmet I wanted. And I didn't make Frienimies for nothing. So after my time on the ground, consider my actions, I decided it was a good idea to go back. What, do you think I learned a valuable lesson from this? It turns out you can actually just go buy this from a terminal. And I decided that after all that work, I deserve a helmet. I took all those gunshots. I did all that harvesting. I deserve this. So, we're going back. So, this innocent harvester. Okay, I'm not innocent. I admit it. I'm not innocent. But this harvester is coming back, and I'm wanted here. I'm wanted dead or alive. Actually, I'm just wanted dead. And so, I'm trying to get as close as possible because I'm flying in, and I'm like, this terminal is there. I'm gonna find the terminal. And I'm gonna buy this thing. And so, I'm just flying really low and cautious, trying to get as close as possible without getting blasted out of the air. And I actually managed to do it. I thought this was a good part, so I'm not going to fast forward through it. You know, you can see where I'm like, I made mistakes flying. If I was flying fast, I probably would have not hit any of the terrain. But I was flying slow. That's not my specialty. Flying the terrain fast is my specialty. But I didn't know how close, how far the whole place was with the kilometers, you know, and everything, and the way I was moving. So I said, let me just take this easy, and it just didn't work out well. And I was trying to stay extra low because that anti-aircraft boy, woof, they can really kick your butt. I'll admit that a vast majority of this plan was not really well plotted through. While trying to land, I blow up part of my ship. And I think it was actually after this mission I thought to myself, maybe I should have brought my Taurus and the Urus inside of it and just drove the Urus here. But the terrain is rough, and if you know anything about driving across this type of terrain, it's not as simple as it seems. Nevertheless, I'm looking for a nice, decent area to land so that I can creep into the town, find this terminal, buy this helmet, and make my escape. minus harvesting any further equipment or harming anyone else.
Loading it back in, by the way. Since you know.
So before we're going to town, I check my stats, suit oxygen level, I don't know if this is a breathable planet or not, these types of things. And I'm looking to see if I can clear my crime stat with these guys. I want to try and make up for it, maybe pay a fine, do a little bit of time in jail. But, they're not a forgiving lot, so we're going to have to do this the hard way.
Yeah, we got.
So after a whole bunch of hiking and mountain climbing and all sorts of other stuff, I made it. I'm in the town. It's nighttime, and I just gotta play the stealth game. Now I gotta find this terminal while staying hidden, and yeah, that's turns out to be a little bit more complicated than I thought. But I did do some research, so I have a general idea where this terminal is, and so I'm heading over to it so that I can get my helmet. Now I won't lie, I'm a black guy, and my inner black guy, I was tempted to take that shot. I'm not gonna lie. I just want to comment on that. I was really tempted. Now this lady, she just ran off, and I was more than happy with this. I was like, I was standing there like, what are you gonna do? But like I said, I didn't want to kill anybody else. I'm trying to be a friendly guy, but they want to treat me as an enemy, so what a friend of me. Anyway, I get to the terminal, and boom. So in game, I'm a brokey, and I spent all my money on a ship, my medical terrapin, and so I find this helmet a bit expensive. Maybe it's expensive because I'm a criminal with these guys, and they're like, yeah, sell it to them, but sell it to them really high priced, or maybe it's just always that price. I don't know, but I'm not leaving without it. So now I'm looking for the collection terminal, which actually I ran away from because I don't know where the collection terminal is. It sent it to the station. I'm like, oh, I need my helmet. So I'm looking around for the terminal and I find it, and I'm like, yes, I grab my helmet, and I want to change the helmet here. And the German, he's gotten on me multiple times about, changing my gear in hostile territory. And sure enough, I get spotted the moment I grab it. And now I got to make a break for it. And now look at this. Look at the nerve of this guy. He shoots me in the back. Well, I mean, I actually did harvest that guy from the back, but I'm trying to be. I was actually trying to be nice earlier when I was harvesting too. Fair enough. The guy's shooting at me. I'm trying not to make it worse, and I don't shoot back. But if you corner me, I'm gonna have to shoot back. I have no choice. But I'm trying not to make things worse. I'm hoping that I can be friends with these guys somehow. That maybe somewhere there's a terminal where I can pay this. And I think the more people I kill, the more I'll have to pay. So yeah. Yeah, I'm just making a break for it. I'm not gonna fight. I don't want to kill anybody else. I would have probably killed the guy for the shoulders anyway, but yeah. Anyway, let's just get out of here. So this is me, you know, running back to the ship. You didn't need to really see all this, but it was important that you see. I got excited, you know. I'm like, yeah, I got my gear. I'm good to go. And I'm actually, I caused myself anxiety. And so here, you know, in a hurry to get back to the ship, you know, and not die with the stuff in my backpack. I died with the stuff in my backpack because, you know, at the last minute, I decided not to be patient. And, well, I fall off a cliff. It was dark, okay? It wasn't a noob move. It was dark, and I couldn't judge how far it fell, or all right, yeah, it was just a bad move. Okay, all right, it was a noob move. I admit it. So of course I die, and I wake back up, back at a hospital. You know, and I actually bought a medical terrapin for this, but I had a bad experience where some guys blew up my terrapin that I would spawn to, and I ended up back in Orison, and I didn't want to end up back in Orison, so I didn't bring the terrapin again. So yeah. But you never count Abu American down and out. Bish, I'm like the juggernaut. You can't keep me down. I'm Abu American, and we're going back. I am absolutely determined to get that helmet. I did not go through all of that for nothing. I will have my helmet. I am low flying the terrain at night, can't see a thing, and just pinging my way the whole time. The determination and focus here was just on point. But I will have my helmet.
was there yesterday.
So I made it without taking a single shot. Now I just gotta go out and find my body and not fall off a cliff. Seems like easy work. And it actually is.
Yeah, we usually try to get all 3 hangars. Do you ever went to the hangar location yet?
And here he is, our harvesting hero. I take the helmet. Oh, kind of sad. It's just saddening seeing myself in this condition. And I go back to my old ship. I filed a claim on it, and I want to scuttle it. I want to self-destruct my ship so it doesn't clog up the server. You know, it's in the server's memory as here, constantly taking up some sort of space in its memory. I don't know if that's how it works, but I want to open the ship up and scuttle her. You know, I want to blow her up. I'm not gonna take off and shoot her, you know. So she won't open up because I filed a claim on her, and so I can't scuttle her. So my poor baby, I leave her stranded and abandoned on Bloom. I head back to my ship and, you know, close her up in case anybody comes wandering by. Nobody comes wandering by, which is interesting. Nobody comes out here wild wandering around, and you know, I take the time to actually change the helmet this time. I don't want to lose the bull helmet, although it's easier to get, and I don't want to lose the skull helmet, because I know it'll be hard to get again, because next time, the plan is, if I have to come back, I'm coming back with the Urus, and just, you know, park it in front of the terminal and let them shoot, because the Urus has shields, and I can just buy a new helmet when I need one. And it would seem that I need a new helmet already. So it's another adventure in the making. My name is Abu American, and I'm new to Star Citizen. And I'll see you in the verse.